I see I just sabotaged my own stream. Oh my gosh. I guess that's my cue. YouTube! What's happening? I see I just... Yep. This is where it all begins. Centipede, thank you for joining. This is probably the first time I've ever done anything like this, any kind of big stream. It's not a, a video game stream. I'm not here to stream, a high score run or a completion run. It's actually, it's a topic. It's a topic, and it's one that, most people probably wouldn't see me as the kind of person that would go out of his way to rant about something. I'm not a ranter. I'm not an angry person, but I like to call out BS. And one thing that I've thought of as BS is just the entire Nintendo Switch hype, So I wanted to do this little stream. It's going to be pretty big. It's going to be a big thing, I guess. I wanted to call out the Nintendo Switch. T versus the big N. Terry 309, thanks for joining. I will go read the chat. I feel like that might help me relax a little bit. I'm really nervous. I probably shouldn't be, but yeah, I can imagine backlash to this. Like, I can imagine people getting upset that I don't like the Switch. It's almost blasphemy to not like the system. So let's just see what you guys are saying. This music that I had playing in the intro is not from the original Shadowgate. It's from Shadowgate 64. It is very calm, castle-like, and I thought it would work well for my intro. Plus, they never call me out as far as using their music on YouTube. This is a stream because I wanted it to be live. I wanted this to be something where, first off, you can hear it from me directly. Like, I could put the time into editing the video, but OBS actually works really well for this. And I thought each reason could have its own kind of spotlight. It's not going to be the most elegant stream you're ever going to see. It's, I'm still working out the kinks of OBS, but I actually learned quite a bit today. Just playing around with it, I think you guys are going to enjoy what you're going to see. Nintendo MBS. Oh my gosh, dude. We're gonna have a ball. And it's gonna be a big one. Unfortunately, I left the basketball in the car, but I got bones to pick. Infamy, stupid international delay between chats. Is there international delay? There's actually just delay because I'm streaming. I've noticed that. There's a bit of a input lag, about 30 seconds. I only keep it at low latency because that way the quality tends not to get interrupted. But I'm excited for this. I'm ready to tear apart this console. It's not that I have everything rehearsed, because I don't, but I've sketched out every reason and I want to take you through them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to a look at my browser right now. But before I do, I just want to give a big shout out to my man Che Guevara. Freaking revolutionary right there. But I think we're about ready. So let's see. I did not want to open Microsoft Paint. No, thank you. And I took you to number 4. Damn it, I'm off to a great start. Okay, I wanted to go to browser. Okay. I'm going to wait till I see this on YouTube. I definitely don't want to start with number 4. That's, not very professional. Guys, let me know any feedback or anything. How I sound. The visual quality, I can't change much at the moment, but it's what it is. And why is number 4 still there? That's not good. Okay, number 4 has disappeared. Good. Number 4 is now tiny. Not good. Is number 4 ever going to go away? Go away, number 4. That's tripping me out. Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. I'm looking at it in like the disappearing squares. Yeah, it's... I know the hotkeys. I know the hotkeys to get to every one of these. Like W is webcam, C is comments, B is browser. And that's about all I need. I am doing this on a stream because I want to hear you guys too. I want you to hear, or I want you to share your opinions as I go through them, you know? It is a little bit of a hassle, but I'm ready. I'm ready as I'll ever be. Because this is a topic that is dear and personal to me. It's something that I went through about 6 years ago before Nintendo Switch was a thing, before it had its precursor, the Wii U. And I am still setting up here. But the Wii U had something about it that I never was quite sold on, and I feel like the Switch is going to be that same thing for me. Alright, so this will probably be how it's going to look. It's not perfect, but it's something. Yeah, every console has its ranting points. I think the reason I picked the Switch... Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that. 8th gen consoles have their picking points, but I feel like the Switch is a console that is not called out enough. Is this a response or just personal opinion? It's a little bit of both. I kind of, like I was trying to say, you know, I see a lot of people who talk up the Switch, and I don't know that it's all qualified. I feel like that people just get very hyped about it, and it's a hype machine. But I think with that, I'm ready to get into it. 13 reasons why Nintendo Switch is overrated. I put a good bit of time into this thumbnail here. I hope you like it. I even got the Franklins on there. 13 reasons why. Okay, so I guess I was just being a little tacky there. I know that's the name of a TV show, and it's pretty popular. But this has nothing to do with the content of that TV show. I just wanted to challenge myself to make 13. That's a lot of reasons. Okay, let's do it. Number 1, the Joycons. Oh my gosh, guys. I've held the Switch more than I've held. Oh, you know what? I got to do that really funny thing. Hold on a sec. I got to make sure it's working. Okay. You may have heard a little sonic ring or something. But let's see here. Number 1 is the Joy-Cons. To me... Did it do number 11? Oh my gosh. Joy-Cons are stupid. Look at this thing. You know, the Wii remote, when you used to hold it, was very similar. It used to be that you would tilt it and then you'd press the 2 A and B buttons or the 1 and 2 buttons, and you'd have this D-pad. Now, that worked, and it was compared to the Famicom controller or the NES controller. But that at least had symmetry. I'm looking at this thing here, and there's a control stick in the middle. And then you've also got this crepuscular shape. And the buttons are tiny. This is 3DS size buttons. What the hell is up with that D-pad? That's not even a D-pad. That's like a lowercase D-pad. The Joy-Con, quite frankly, is not egalitarian. It's not approachable. It's not something I want to use. And when I look at a console, the first thing I look at is that controller, because that's what I'm feeling. You know, something can look great, but if it doesn't feel right when you hold it, then maybe it's just not for you. And for me, when I hold something like the Super Nintendo controller, even if this is a remake, it's very similar. The buttons are spaced far apart. The D-pad is responsive. Everything looks right. I like this. I don't like the Joy-Con. I like the Famicom controller. At least that looks nice. It's got a nice design going for it. But I'm not sold on the Joy-Cons. Let's just look at the specs. I do have an article hyperlinked here. For most of these, I do have a secondary source. And a lot of this does come straight from Nintendo. I didn't use secondary articles for the most part. A lot of people tend to do that. I prefer, personally, to go straight to the source itself. So this is almost a foot long. I don't know if I believe that. It's half an inch deep. The depth from the ZL-ZR buttons is 1.12 inches. I didn't even notice the Z buttons. Its weight is pretty light. I don't understand the CPU stuff. I'm not going to bother with that. I had no idea a controller has storage. Okay, they're wireless. I'll give it that. Bluetooth, interesting. I don't know what you could use that for. Okay, now this is just talking about the Switch itself. Okay, I got that completely wrong. All right, good thing I noticed. The Joy-Con controllers. The weight. Yeah, I didn't think it was a foot long. That didn't make sense. It's 2 inches long, or 1.5 inches. So, like, what? Am I gonna, like, you know, play Mario Odyssey like this, or, like, you know, Smash Kart? Smash Kart. It doesn't make sense to me. You know, I'm seeing in the comments here, when you compare the Joy-Con to the N64 controller, I grew up with the 64 controller, so I can't necessarily fault it. I appreciate it, and if you play a game that uses the D-pad as opposed to the control stick, it does feel nice. And the buttons are big on the 64 controller. The Z button is great. I don't look at the Joy-Con and think anything about it is great. So that's where I struggle to... Well, that's where I would pick the 64 controller over the Joy-Con, personally. Look how many buttons that thing has, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the 4 D-pad and then the right stick. Am I talking too much about the controller, guys? It's got a gyroscope in it. Okay. Interesting. And one thing I should point out is that I am speaking from the perspective of someone who's a complete non-owner of the console. I've only held it several times, but it's also based on impressions. I think I should be sold on it if I really cared that much about it. Number 1. Now, with that, let's go to number 2. Guys, is my soundboarding all right here? Am I doing okay? Look at all those Franklins. Look at all those Franklins. Unwavering price. I'm telling you that the price of this console will not go down. And that's because it keeps selling. Even if it wasn't selling, the Wii U never dropped in price. Only if you bought it refurbished. But you could not get a solid deal on that console at any game store. And it cost the same amount. The Switch is going to be exactly the same. It's been 1.5 years. And, I mean, I get it. You know, $300 for a console. I looked online and the suggested retail price is Actually, a little higher. I think that's because, oh, I see, it's in Canada. But that's expensive. $300 and tax. You're looking at about $30 in tax. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to go back. But all you get with that purchase is the console, the cables, and the controllers. You are not getting a game included. So $320, and that will not go down. Now, to me, it's important to have some kind of incentive to buy the console at a reasonable price. Most consoles that were Nintendo, or even not Nintendo, the Sony consoles, have been purchasable. If you compare like PS3 to the Wii U, I guess you could say they're same generation. The PS3 is now at like $90. That's pretty affordable, and you get all the family features on it. The Wii U hasn't gone down. It's just become a Nintendo thing where you are paying for that seal of approval because it's name brand. But does the name brand really hold up? See, $450 in Australia, that's crazy. And then, is that after tax or not? That's just too much. $1,000? I'm not going to drop that kind of money just for a console. And when you think about Nintendo, it's supposed to be the family-friendly console everyone can get into. That was the primary sale point of the Nintendo 64, of the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah, I know the comparison was a little faulty there between PS3 and Wii U. 9th gen, right? That's crazy. But all the same, I just don't see this going down in value. You're still paying for a tablet and a console. So you can pay for the non-bundle, the part that excludes everything you need from it. But who's going to do that? It's just Nintendo's way of saying that they're trying to be more consumer friendly. So I just don't buy it. And personally, that's just too much for me. I got my PlayStation 4 on Black Friday for $250 with 2 games included at GameStop. That's a deal, and that was 2 years ago. You know, I'm waiting to see something like that from Nintendo. If they can bring this down to $250, then maybe that's approachable. So let's go through some comments for a second. GameCube was all about being edgy as hell, and I loved it. GameCube and SNES was Nintendo at their best. I'm a big fan of the GameCube. I don't have that many games for it, but the games that were released for it were pretty badass. You know, I think back on them, and they were really groundbreaking. And I think I'm going to come to a point like that at some point with these 13 reasons. N64 ain't bad. Yeah, like games like Sin and Punishment, F-Zero line, man, those games were really pushing boundaries, and I love them. With that, let's take a look. What is number 3? Well, what is it? I don't know. The accessories. Oh my gosh. This is scary, guys. Because now you've dropped $300 in tax on a console alone. But you don't like the Joycons. So what are you going to do? You're going to buy the Nintendo Switch controller. Let's take a look. How much is the Nintendo Switch controller? And remember, I keep going in the Canada mode, so I know that's a reality for some of us, but in Canada, you're paying $90 for the controller. Great. Now you guys in Canada and Australia have just spent over $500 without even buying a game. And that's just to get a normal-looking controller. That's scary. But that's not the only accessory that you'll probably need. Because let's just take a look at some of the other stuff. What was recommended here from Nintendo? So you have, off the bat, you can play games 2-player, right? With the Joy-Con controllers. Let me just take a look here, make sure everything's good. But presume you want it to be that family-friendly console. You're going to get more Joy-Cons. You're going to get your Switch Controller Pro. Battery packs. The Pokeball Plus. The charging grip. The straps for your Joy-Cons so they don't go flying into the TV like the Wii days. Your Switch AC adapter. Hopefully you don't lose that. But who knows? The dock set. Alright, you're not going to buy any of these. Maybe the charging stand for the Switch. But that's not the only things that I have listed here that you will probably want. Now, I'm not crazy about articles, but sometimes they tell you everything that you want. And these are suggested things that you get for the Switch before it arrives. And one of the big things is memory cards. With the memory card you're getting, considering that you're going to play a home console that plays big games, you're going to need a lot of space. Probably more than the 32 gigabytes. They're suggesting that you get a 128 gigabyte card here on The Verge. And that's another $50. American. Zelda is considered 13.4 gigabytes. So if you did have a 32 gigabyte with what is installed, you've already used a third of your space. So considering that about half of the Switch library is digital, you are dropping a pretty penny here. That's also including the Switch Pro controller, the charging stand. They're saying get a USB charging cable because the Switch is portable and you will be taking it out if you're that kind of gamer, which is probably why you bought the thing. A case. Yeah, you're definitely going to want one of those, even if you're keeping it in the house. An Ethernet adapter I think you could do without. But great. You're probably at $600 now. $500 to $600. That is just a little bit too much for me. You can get a GameCube controller adapter for the Switch. But again, you're spending money. And think about this. If you had a Wii or Wii U, you bought all this stuff anyway. And now you got to buy it again, but the Switch exclusive. If you've been a Nintendo fan, they're hitting you where it hurts. My Wii personally is not GameCube backwards compatible. The Switch is so different from other consoles that no third parties want to make accessories. That's true. They have a good relationship with Hori. Hori helps them out. But still, it's suggested you buy those Nintendo brand memory cards. Wii U cannot play GameCube games. The only things that can play the GameCube are GameCube and certain Wiis. Yeah, that's crazy. You put the disc in and you still need to install the thing, right? Doesn't that trip me out? No, I have a Wii Mini, but I do have a GameCube. If I'm going to play GameCube, I'm going to play it on the GameCube, you know? So there were 3 models of the Wii. There was the original model, there was the black model, and there was the Wii Mini. There may or may not have been other ones. The only one that was GameCube compatible was the original. And from what I understand, their make is pretty good on those things. But I never got the chance to get another one. So maybe down the road, but I use my GameCube, so it's fine. I've been looking at the GameCube HDMI adapter as well. So that's the thing. Guys, are you ready for number 4? Come on, I keep typing B. I'm trying to get back to browser. This is tripping me out. Oh my gosh, it's taking me to like all these numbers. I just went to 13. That's stupid. Let me try that again. Hold on. 4. That's what I wanted. I didn't want 13. Oh my gosh. The stream is great, guys. I love that you're not calling me out on it. Game prices. Great. So I'm glad you guys have made it this far with your wallets. Now, you're going to be spending that top dollar on your games. It is Scrabble points 1, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 21. 21 points in Scrabble. Let's just take a look at how much these games are going to cost you. I'm just going to Best Buy. Best Buy's got me that discount. What are the top games for Switch? Let's see. Super Mario Odyssey, $59.99 as advertised, and includes something free. Oh, what do they have? What's free? You get a Cappy coin. Isn't that great, guys? Now you can put that on your shelf and then show it off in every YouTube video you ever do. Okay, $660. What's next? Octopath Traveler. Great, an RPG. $59.99 as advertised. Oh, but you get free shipping. Didn't you guys love free shipping? But hey, in case you want to play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, that's $40. So now you just spent $60, $100, $20, $160 for 3 games. You're on a roll. Meanwhile, I could go to the PlayStation 4 section of Best Buy, and I guarantee you I am finding some classic games at the top of that list that are worth $20 to $30. What? You can't see my face? Oh my gosh, this browser thing is going horribly. Guys, can you see it? Did you see the Scrabble points? You get 21 in Scrabble for these games. It's working, right? Okay. Anyways, I went to Best Buy. I looked up their games. They're $59.99. That is so much money. That's so much money. Oh, but Mario Kart's down to $54.99. So, I mean, if you ever wanted to race digitally, you could just spend a good $55 in tax. Oh, but tennis has got to be worth $60. Same with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. You know, I'm sure that game's worth the $5 you're going to save on the retail price. Oh, and Zelda finally got a discount. Save $5. $5 on Zelda, guys. You should be stoked. It's not often Nintendo hooks you up like that. Oh my gosh, this is too much money. Like I was saying, the PlayStation 4 games will not run you nearly as much. I have a collection of 50 PlayStation 4 games physically. I haven't spent more than $40 on a single one of them. Average, about 20, maybe 25. I don't know, I mean, do you think that's worth it? $60 for a new retail game, and then you're paying tax too? You're going to spend $65. And I'm sorry for those of you who are in the EU. This horrible world of Best Buy. This is the consumer capitalist culture we live in. Are you ready for me to show you number 5, though? That's the question. Dude, it's astronomical. And it's not to say that games never costed $60. They've costed $60 for quite some time. But they never go down. You are paying for the Nintendo seal. It's too much. But let's see what number 5 is, huh? I'm checking this every time now. I'm going to make sure it goes back to browser. These hotkeys are like bailing on me. Rehashes. What's a rehash, guys? A rehash in the noun form is a reuse of old ideas or material without significant change or improvement. If you want to use it as a verb, it's to make the rehash. Now, everyone says like, oh, Nintendo, they're all original ideas, right? Let's just go through that same list. And I want you to tell me what's a rehash and what's not a rehash. Super Mario Odyssey, it's not a rehash. It's a pretty new idea. Octopath Traveler, okay. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, that's a different story. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that is rehash. It's Mario Kart 8 with the DLC. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I would say that's a rehash. It's Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U with all of the characters and all of the stages. And then some. And maybe you say that those added characters are significant, but I don't see it being its own new original title. Mario Tennis Aces, okay. I think you could argue that's not a rehash. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, rehash. Straight rehash, plus funky. Crash Bandicoot Trilogy, different story. That's a port. Breath of the Wild, different story. Or not different story, but that's not a rehash. Mario Party, okay, probably not a rehash. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, rehash. FIFA, not going there. Minecraft, not going there. Yeah, you look at this first page, right? And I'd say you're about, if you look just at the Nintendo titles, 50% rehash. And yeah, I guess the correct phraseology would be enhanced port, but it's a rehash. It's not significantly different. You're not going to pay $60 to play Donkey Kong Country on the bus versus if you had it on the Wii U. It's a rehash. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's just at the beginning of the life cycle of this thing, it was a slap in the face to people who owned a Wii U. And it still is. For a long time, I feel like there hasn't been significant reason to buy the Switch if you were a Wii U owner. Unless you just hated your Wii U. Star Allies? Yeah, maybe. It's hard to resist Kirby. And that's the thing, if you owned it. If you owned it, there's the incentive, but I don't think it's reason to go out and buy it. Unless you like The Incredibles. Are we ready for number 6? 'Cause I sure am. Every time. I'm not letting that happen again. I'm not going to number 13, and I'm not going to talk over a blank screen. I didn't even use that link. The big games. All right, so what are our big games, guys? What are the most popular games for the Switch? I want to know. I'm going to go to GameStop. I'm going to sort by popularity, which I already did. You can see it from the arrow here. All right, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I get that. Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2. I think if you just ignore the ports for a second, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you'll notice a trend here. Minus Splatoon, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, all three of those games are meant to be the big titles, the open world, the exploration of the universe of that game. The Switch has become the console for open world adventure. It's sacrificed the ideals of what the previous games were. And you could argue, I mean, I haven't played those games. I can't really speak definitively to whether they have or not, but the entire premise for how you play that game is now about exploration, adventure, going into big worlds, seeing the entire Mario Odyssey or the entire Breath of the Wild world. And it's kind of painful to see that if you are a longtime fan. Some people look at that as like tribute to the original series, but I see it as a step away. And I played open world games. I've played Skyrim. I have some other ones, but I don't like the idea of my favorite series with some of my favorite experiences now becoming restricted to open world. Zelda is one of the most impactful series of my life. Majora's Mask changed who I am. Breath of the Wild, I don't know. What do you guys think? Open world? Is there too much open world? Would buy if it had F-Zero. True that. I can echo that. Dude, until there's ever an F-Zero game again, like we will be in perpetual despair. Shining Resonance. Oh, I haven't even watched the trailer. Monolith Soft. What's up, Black Metal Gamer? The Switch should be $199. I agree with you. Yeah, I feel like the 3DS got so much of each of those series. And it's not to say they shouldn't do Mario and Zelda or Fire Emblem, but since when has there been that much of a craving for Fire Emblem? I don't understand it. Look what we can do. We can create entire worlds. It's a universe. But what about the world that's already there, that's told through characters and dialogue? Open world is just... What's a nice way to put this? Or a not nice way to put this? Yeah, it's just a way of like showing off what you can do with your budget. And that's the thing, right? Is if you do the open world, you sacrifice your story. I mean, you can do both, but if you're going to do story, it has to be digestible and simple. And I think the argument for open world is that it does build in curiosity, like you want to go explore all the shrines or the dungeons. But I think there have been examples of open world where it wasn't done well, where it didn't invite you. I didn't play No Man's Sky, but I know that that was a major disappointment for a lot of people. Would I want Super Mario Galaxy to be open world? That's the question. I kind of like the linearity in those games. I like the formula of get this star when you go into this world. It's the Mario 64 template, and I really do like that. If Mario Galaxy were open world, maybe. In a way, Banjo-Kazooie is kind of open world. I like seeing how stories are programmed, you know, how the developers can anticipate what your feelings are going to be with that game. Did I have anything else on open world? If not, then it is time for number 7. What is number 7? Oh, this one's going to make you cry, Terry. It's going to make me cry. Port City. It's actually Port Town. F-Zero. The Nintendo Switch is Port City. It's home to ports. It's the Me Too console. It's like, look, I have Fortnite now. Look, we got Skyrim. Oh, you like Skyrim? Well, we have it now. And you can play it in that chair or that one. Nintendo Switch has just become the console to play everything that you didn't play before. If you didn't play it, now you have that option. Or if you want to play it again in, like, you know, your bed, then you can do it. So, you know, if I take a look here, like FIFA 18, like I really want that Switch version. Or Minecraft. Ooh, I love my Minecraft. It's lost its personality. And I think, you know, you see them trying. They're trying to do their first party things. and it's come a little slow, a little too late, because it's just easy for these developers to just bring their old games over. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And I will say that fighting games look okay on the Switch. Like, it would be interesting to sit there, set up a Switch, and then take off the Joy-Cons and then play with somebody else. But am I really going to buy Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2? Let's see. It came out last year, and it's got 728 ratings on Best Buy. Versus Mario Kart 8, which has 12,000. I don't play Minecraft. I've thought about Dragon Quest Builders. But even then, look. This is another port, right? It is another port. Just for the sake of being a port. I can't find it. It is on this page, though. Methinks. Methinks wrong. It was on the GameStop page. My battery's running low. Uh-oh. I guess that's a good cue to take a little break. Yeah, I'm going to go to my interim. I will answer that question. What about real-time strategy? I don't know if that genre is represented on the Switch. I know the PlayStation 4 has, I think it's called Airwolf or something, or Air Mech, which is a free-to-play game that is really good. It's like Herzog Zwei on the Genesis. I don't know about the Switch. I don't think it has anything. But I'm going to go to Interim. They probably have like tower defense. Guys, you can keep up in the chat. Just give me like 5 minutes, all right? I'm going to catch my breath, you know, like drink some water or something and plug in my computer. I don't want to forget that. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll be back soon. My bad. OBS is just too hard. It's too hard to use. I should not use hotkeys. Celebration. Good times. Gotta love some good old Pac-Man. That is a hard game, though. I cannot reach that S rank. I keep trying, but that is a tough goal right there. Okay, we're back. I'm really happy with how the stream's going, guys. Thanks for making this very pleasant for me. We've gotten through reasons 1 through 7 so far, and I've got 6 more good ones. I think you could probably pick apart 1 or 2 points. I know some people might disagree with them. That's fine. Even some of them I had to stretch because it is 13 reasons why. It's not like top 5 reasons not to buy a Switch. I'm just trying to be funny, you know. I saw a good conversation in the chat going about RTS and how they tend to be pretty iffy on console. There is a unique idea there, though, with the Switch, and I like seeing the Switch kind of like do some of those things that make the hardware itself desirable. I know the Wii U suffered on that front, so keep it up with the ideas. I like them, guys. I don't know if I missed anything else. I think that's it. So with that, let's go to number 8. All right. Number 8. Close some tabs here. What did I have for number 8? I don't remember. I remember. Oh, F-Zero. There you are. Okay. I don't know who this guy is. I think he's been appearing in like a lot of these videos about TanaCon. I thought this came up as one of the first images on Nintendo Switch fanboy for Google. I just want to take a moment and call out this proliferation of Nintendo Switch YouTubers. It's almost like this is the culmination of everything that YouTube has been kind of building up towards. It's exploitative as hell. This is a good point here, Terry. What is cult culture? I think what I could even do here is just take out the cult and then put it in parentheses, culture. Because people just are culture vultures. They will try to be the first to review things. They will do all types of videos on Switch. You've got reaction Switch videos. You've got news Switch videos. You've got podcasts to Switches. You've got reviews for all these Switches. You've got first impressions for Switch games. And I mean, if you look at the thumbnails, they're disgusting. It's the fucking soy boy phase where, you know, people have got their mouths open and they're like, dude, did he just announce Star Fox? I had no idea Star Fox was going to be in Starlink Assault. And this guy right here, I don't know what his deal is, but yeah, you got a few too many Mario toys there. And look, he's even got the Franklins. It's like, bye-bye money. And they don't care. They just spend because you know what? If it makes them happy, so be it. But, you know, it's become a system where everyone's trying to be first. They're trying to take advantage of the fact that Switch is hot right now. And I think that's a big reason why it's overrated, because people tend to hype it up way too much. Turbo Zone, my boy, what's happening? Is the elevator music still going? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. You've gotta be kidding me. You didn't see the soy boy, did you? I'm sorry. It's working, right? Soy boy, there you go. Did you guys hear what I said? Anyways, here's what I was trying to say is that, you know, with I just typed in Nintendo Switch, right, into YouTube. And these are the first things that you get. Power up your Switch. You got a how-to video. You got a news video. You've got a top 15 games that you have to play. You don't have a choice here because a girl is telling you. You have a live stream. Okay. Monster Hunter. Look, soy boy face right there. You got this guy who looks like he needs a little more coffee. Happy Console Gamer. I do love the guy. I love EPN too. Electric Playground. But look, Johnny did 2 videos on the same thing. Switch Year 1 review. Like, there's a point at which it is kind of beating around the bush to do it like twice. You got the other guy there too. It's not until the bottom of the page where you even get Nintendo's channel. With this YouTube stuff, people are they're doing better than the company itself. And that's crazy to me. News, reviews, 10 list. This guy took off. I remember him before the Switch. He was like a low-key channel. Boogie's doing a video on the Switch. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see Happy Console Gamer, to be honest. It's good to see him do well. I like his channel. But, like, it's almost become this kind of, like, positivity culture and just keep on emphasizing, like, the Switch is, like, the hottest thing. Here's how you can power it up. What does that even mean? Oh, no, there's a crack in my Switch. I don't like it. I don't like that. Really. I mean, do you guys like seeing Switch videos? Well, Joe's a little angry, so, I mean, I get it. And I know the deal. Because he got claimed one time. Which is actually fair. It's valid. I think that brings me to number 9 too, because this is what's crazy, right? You see how popular it is to do Switch videos on YouTube. I do want to address that before I move on. Cracks is not good publicity, but it's bad publicity is publicity at the same time. And it's also like the idea of just making a video about Switch because it's something to make a video about. I don't think you can play Pink Panther Goes to Hollywood on the Switch. That is definitely a reason it might be overrated. But let's see, what's number 9? Are you guys ready for number 9? Is it Mighty? Oh, I went there. The YouTube embargo. I've actually got 2 articles for this. But it's crazy to me there's a cult of people who just make YouTube videos on Nintendo Switch where there's still an embargo on the ability to make videos on Nintendo Switch. I did a video with Alex here from TurboZone where I used approximately 30 seconds of footage from Spencer's video of Super Mario Odyssey. No music, nothing, just gameplay footage. And it got claimed within minutes of posting the video. And if that's going to happen, then, especially if I'm a bigger channel, I'm not going to want to do the videos. But let's see exactly how this still affects YouTubers, because this was claimed approximately 2 years ago with the creator program. This was published a few months ago. Nintendo-specific YouTube channels may feel their new monetization rules. This was in addition to their previous ones, where there was a whole program. But basically, when the YouTube program said you have to meet that threshold in order to still monetize on YouTube, Nintendo said, look, if you're not at that threshold, then you're not eligible to be in our program at all. And I mean, I get it. They probably weren't making money anyway, but yeah. The creator program still exists. I think they do it just to have it and say it's there. Look at this. It says it's been a controversial topic ever since it was announced. I know, I think Joe was pretty pissed about that, no? And if you don't join, Nintendo gets all of your money. As if they weren't getting all of it already. But let's see the second article. This was actually from a little earlier, late in 2017. Oh, you guys are probably not going to like number 10. Sorry. Browser still going? Good. Nintendo restricts live streaming games for YouTubers in the Nintendo's partner program. What's the deal with that? You can't even live stream the games. They do not want the publicity. I don't remember exactly what this says, but essentially, you can't have your YouTube channel linked to your Switch while you're streaming. I don't really know how that works, because I think I've seen like Leo playing Mario Tennis Aces on YouTube, but let's see what they say. YouTubers cannot broadcast content on YouTube Live from the account you have registered to the Nintendo Creator Program. So even if you want to do it without monetizing, they won't allow you to do it. Those who have partnered can still create other videos, such as a Let's Play. It's overrated. It's just too much. There's a share button on my PlayStation 4 controller. That's simple. PlayStation's accessible. They let me stream. They have a chat tab on the TV while I'm doing it. What is this, Nintendo? Like, why are you making it so difficult for us? Right? Because think about it. I like your point here, Terry. They're taking money from content that isn't 100% theirs. If you look at like a sports commentary, right? Like if you're watching ESPN, then ESPN is monetizing their commentary of the game. It's the same concept. Even sports, like esports commentary, like you've got, you know, StarCraft versus matches, PvPs, and you're watching, then that's totally eligible for the people who are hosting that event to make money off of. So Nintendo kind of, they're pulling a shtick, and they've been doing it, and they've only been getting called out from the consumer and, you know, game players perspective, but not from like the corporate level. So they still can get away with like this stuff, and they're their own company. I guess that's, you know, up to them, but ridiculous. It's just too much. I don't like it. Like if I get a Switch, I mean, the only types of videos I'm going to do are ones where I'm just sitting in front of a camera talking about it. I'm not going to show you any gameplay because I don't want to get claimed for it. It's stupid. Not just because of the money thing, but like, why should Nintendo be making money off something I do? Even if I want to monetize or not, even if I'm eligible. It's stupid. Number 10. Is probably my weakest reason. But I'm still going to stand... Dang it, I did it again, didn't I? Okay. Cool. I'm still going to stand by it. And that's that indie is not third party. Now, I think if you look at what the third party for the Switch is, it's all the ports. And I guess you could say that's second party or not. But the Wii U, the 3DS had a big indie thing going where a lot of the games that were from like those third-party companies were, how would you say, downloadable only. And I feel like the Switch is a continuation of that, but they give you some cases now so you can buy them in the store. But to me, indie has always been something I play on a computer. And I understand if, you know, you're okay playing indie games on a console. That's okay. But I don't think it's an excuse not to have original exclusive games for your console that are not necessarily low budget, flash-ish. Yeah, if you want indie, get a PC, right? But I got 5 games here from my PlayStation 4 that I think are, you know, even if you look at PlayStation, right? Sony's not making games anymore, so they have an entire third-party base. Maybe don't quote me on that, but I just want to show you these games. Like Ratchet and Clank is Insomniac. Dragon Quest Heroes is Square. You probably don't know this one, Chromaya. That's Rising Star. I like those guys. Hatsune Miku is Sega. King of Fighters is Atlas. That's 5 different companies with games that are exclusive to my console. With these Switch games, they're probably available on a phone as well, if not Steam. So I don't understand why it's so amazing to have indie games on the Switch. How can... Yeah. There was shovelware, right? Indie is third party, I guess you'd say, but I think if you compare it to like the days of... I think the Nintendo 64 had pretty decent third party. Even if you look at like the 16 and 8-bit consoles, those had pretty good third party, where it wasn't indie game. So again, I think this is my weakest point, but I think it's still valid that you can't bank on just indie games. Like there are consoles that are supposed to be indie exclusive, like this new Intellivision is supposed to be like the hub for indie games. I don't know that I want the Switch to be the attractor of indie. You know what I mean? You can play indie games on a potato. That's the comment of the day. Yeah. Man. Yeah, I could draw out a tic-tac-toe board right now. We could play an indie game. Independent of anyone else. I'm thinking of a number 1 to 13. What is it? You have a perfectly good potato. Dude, I've got like a avocado. If I open it up, I might find an indie game inside. Ah, the potatoes become a PC. Touche. Hopefully the avocado will mature one day into a beautiful ouya. Are you ready for number 11? That was the number I was thinking of, by the way. No cross downloads, but I think this kind of just applies to the Switch in general. The online service is just disgustingly behind the times. This is 9th generation, really. I feel like I bought downloadable games on every downloadable available system they had. The Wii, the 3DS. Yeah, just those two, I guess. I don't have the Wii U. Yeah, I mean, you can't win them all, right? I did pick out cross downloads because I think that we've bought these games time and time again, and that's been particularly annoying. So I want to read the details about what their online service is, since it doesn't even exist yet. I know this was contentious before, earlier in the stream, but this is launching in September. And let's just look at the features. Online play, NES Online, back up your saved data, and the Switch Online app. Let me look at that. That's what scares me a little bit, is that as if the console wasn't exclusive enough where you had to buy all of these accessories and games and whatever. You have to own a smartphone to play Pokemon Go at its fullest, or to communicate online. That's bizarre. I don't understand that. Why do you need a Nintendo app? So that scares me. And what also is kind of frustrating is that this is all that's included with their online service. I've heard that it doesn't feature Netflix or anything like that. I don't even know if it has YouTube. I think it finally got YouTube. But how can you be a modern console and not have those things? Especially if you're on the go. Like, wouldn't you love to download your videos and then watch them later? I think this is a good time to talk about the paywall. Terry, it's $20 the service for the year. And by paying for it, you get access to offers. Now, I can't say that I was particularly frustrated thinking about the paywall. It's 20 isn't that much. But what you get is not that much either. You get NES games. Oh, you get the opportunity to back up your save data. Garbage service, right? It's just very behind. It's not modern at all. And I think the Switch has been trying to hit the niche, the Switch niche, where it's trying to adapt and it's trying to be modern, but it's struggling. And their online service is an indicator about that. I mean, you could say the same for the other consoles, though, that you're paying for the service. Sony's is pretty expensive compared to this. But is Switch really going to have that much of an online base? Especially if half the people are playing it portable. There's no reason for that. So I don't think their service is that impressive. I think that's pretty disappointing. I think just overall, a lackluster online service would be what number 11 really is. We're closing in. We're like right at the cusp. I can't believe we've made it this far. We're now at... Where are we at? Number 12. Nintendo was slow, I agree with you. They tend to be, though. They tend to go a little slower. Number 12 is that this thing is backwards incompatible. You know, for shame. Every Nintendo console from the Super Nintendo up has had some kind of backwards compatibility. Not all to the same extent, but the Super Nintendo had the Super Game Boy. The Nintendo 64 had the transfer pack on the back, which lets you play Pokemon. The GameCube had the Game Boy player. The Wii was backwards compatible. The Wii U was backwards compatible. The Nintendo Switch is the first that is backwards incompatible. And I guess you can't say the NES because that was the first Nintendo system. But the Switch is exclusive to Switch. You can only play Switch on Switch. So you're kind of out of luck. If you had a massive library of Wii U games, or if you really like your 3DS and you wanted to play them on the TV, too bad. You can't do none of it. The Switch is supposed to be like their next gen hardware, and here it is. It's like the 3DS is outshining it. The DS is outshining it. Both of those are backwards compatible. I don't have an article for that. I don't think I need an article for that. So I just think that it's not asking too much to be able to play the previous generation's games, especially Wii U. Like, that thing's just going to become a relic now. They're already replacing the games, but I guess that was their whole philosophy, right? Is that we can sell you the same game in a portable mode, and we won't make it backwards compatible. I thought it was Game & Watch. I thought Game & Watch was the first systems. What's up, Gotham Knight? Good to see you. You've made it for a spectacular moment. This is number 13. And this may or may not be the driving reason that the Nintendo Switch is overrated. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. I'm not ready for this. But we're going to do it. Full steam ahead. The taste, guys. I don't understand this. Like, supposedly people are tasting their Nintendo Switch games and saying they taste pretty good. But I don't think I can agree with this. Look at this guy. He thinks they taste bad. Alright, so he's on my side. This person's feeding it to their daughter. Yo. Licking Switch game cartridges. Nice face. Guava juice. Is that a girl in 2 frames? I can't tell. She doesn't want to do it, but she's going to do it. I'm going to watch the girl do it. Whoops.
So the logic behind this is that Nintendo doesn't want kids to eat the game cartridges. They are very, very small. Let me pull one out. It's pretty tiny. So to prevent children from wanting to swallow things, because apparently children like swallowing small things, just in general, Nintendo specifically manufactured each game cartridge to taste terrible so that kids wouldn't want to do that. So I am testing it for you right now. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild find out. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, 10 out of 10 from Edge magazine. But how does it taste? Did they review that?
This is clickbait, yo. This is such clickbait.
I'm gonna lick the stick out on the front. I'm not gonna put the whole thing in my mouth because that would be awful. Oh, it's so, oh, God. It's so awful. Oh. So I feel like I didn't lick that much of it and it overtook my entire mouth.
This is in content.
So bitter. It feels like I've had like an electricity burn across with terrible alcohol on the section of my tongue. It doesn't hurt or anything, but yeah, that tastes. 0 out of 10. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild tastes like nothing.
Thumbnail right there. Well, I mean, there you have it, guys. The taste of these are not that impressive. People just don't like how these Switch games taste. And, you know, 3DS is my favorite console, so I thought I'd do a little challenge here and do a taste test. You know, with, you guessed it, everybody's favorite 3DS game, Shin Megami Tensei. You're not going to want to miss this, Terry. I'm going to do the first live taste test video for a 3DS cartridge because, you know, apparently Nintendo didn't manufacture this one to taste like piss. So you've seen it here first. I'm not doing that. Yeah, nice try, guys. Nice try. Terry, thank you for joining me for 13 reasons why the Nintendo Switch is overrated. So I guess the philosophy is that Nintendo didn't want kids eating the cartridges because they're tiny. You know, they're thinner than these 3DS cartridges. This is 3DS, right? And I think that a Switch cartridge is like an SD card. So they put some kind of chemicals on it that make it taste terrible, but I don't, that's horrible. It's not as tasty as your seatbelt. Well, what does your seatbelt taste like? So I'm glad I didn't just lick my 3DS cartridge. Yeah, that could have been a thing. We've just gone through all 13 reasons why Switch is overrated. Now, I don't want you to think I hate the thing or that I don't want one. I want to make it clear that people have talked this thing up. And it's been proliferating with the YouTube content, with all those content creators out there. And I just want to call it out because I don't see it. I don't see it as being as great as everyone wanted it to or thinks it is. I just disagree. With that, I did ask 2 of my friends to send me a voicemail about what they think. Because, you know, I just spent 2 hours talking about what I think. But I want to hear it from them just to acknowledge their opinion. This is the first time I'm going to hear what they have to say. So you see it here first. You don't see me tasting cartridges. That's not something that happens on this channel. And I'm excited. I'm glad they did this for me. So I'm going to shout them out right now. The first one is to my man Alex at Turbo Zone. Thank you, Alex, for giving me a ring. I'm going to ask, and the question I ask is the Nintendo Switch overrated? What do you think? Okay, so let's hear Alex together.
Yo, it's your boy Alex from Turbo Zone. What's up, geeks and gamers? I'm here to talk about my thoughts on the Switch. Do I think the Nintendo Switch is overrated? I don't have a Switch. I still haven't bought one. I mean, I have a PS4, and I think that's the biggest thing holding me back. The Switch is a really neat idea. I mean, the marriage of a handheld and a home console, I think, really works. But there's just not a lot on the Switch. I had a Wii U, and a lot of the Switch games is like just repurposed Wii U games for the most part. And while I would like to play some of those games again. I still have them on my Wii U. So, I mean, I'm probably going to get one because of Smash. Smash Bros. Was probably where I'll even buy a Switch. But I do think if you don't have a PS4 and you're trying to pick between a PS4 and a Switch, I would just go with the PS4. It has more games. It has more to enjoy. The only thing it can't really do is the mobile gaming. But, you know, once again, the Switch, I think is a cool idea. It needs more exclusive games that aren't just Wii U updates. And it's slowly getting that, but I think once it gets a good handful of solid Switch exclusives, maybe then it might be worth it. Once again, I'll probably get it because of Smash Bros. I do love Smash Bros. That much. But for your average Joe, I do think the Switch is a little overrated. Definitely just get a PS4. There's just so much more to play for so much cheaper.
All right. Thank you, Alex from TurboZone. I thought that was a good response. We're on the same page there. I think the PS4 just does gaming better. Gaming library, anyway. It's more original. It just is. There's more there that is not a rehash. We've seen too many Wii U ports at this point. The thing is ready to just get new stuff. And they're starting to do new stuff, but it's not the most exciting it could be. Like another Mario Party. Okay. Hopefully they don't make it Wii U style. Mario Tennis Aces. Okay, that looks all right. But they're just, I don't know if they're moving fast enough. The Smash Bros. Thing, okay. I think we saw that coming. I personally see it as a Wii U rehash, but I get it. I'm not going to taste the case. I'm sorry, Gotham Knight. I'm not putting my tongue on anything on stream. That is not happening. That is not happening. Now, I did get a second response, and this one comes from my man, Leo, the funny nerd. This guy is my homie, just like Alex. And he not only gave me a response, but he did it in a video. And that's super cool. I haven't watched it yet. We're going to watch this for the first time together. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on, hold on. I want to make sure you can see it. And I'll put the mic close. This is super cool. All right, you ready, Leo? Let's do it.
What's up, Majora T? It's your boy, Leo, the funny nerd.
What up, Leo?
Part of the interruption here, but I really think the Nintendo Switch is highly underrated and very misunderstood. Which other console can you take out with you for your lunch break during a weekday and beat a well-polished AAA game on the go while taking a look at some beautiful scenery right under your pocket right here, just like I did today, and I should have my review tonight. So answering your question there, this Switch is very misunderstood. Until you've taken it out of your house and actually experienced a well-polished AAA game on the go, it's very hard to see what the possibilities that the little machine can have for you. And then, of course, you always have the option to go ahead and continue playing that while at home. But as a handheld of playing well-polished AAA experiences on the go, it is unrivaled right now and a great experience, if I could say so myself. So thank you very much, T, and I'll check you out next time.
Woo! All right, all right. Devil's advocate there. But I appreciate it. Hey, who knows? I mean, that could be good reason right there. It's just if you are someone that gets out of your house a lot and you want gaming on the go for more than like 5-10 minutes, yeah, by all means. That's really cool. He had the city skyline there. Dude, you killed it. That was like a 10 out of 10 video. And thank you so much, Leo, for sending me a video response to the question. I really appreciated that. I think I got a few good responses there. It depends what you want out of your system. I mean, the Switch is for some people. For me, not right now. But, I mean, it's there. It's cool. It's a thing. It exists. It's Nintendo. You're going to pay for that Nintendo stamp, that seal of approval. And if that's what you want, that's what you get. So, with that, that will conclude the stream. Thank you, everyone who has joined, who has given me a response. I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad it turned out as good as it did. So with that, take care. I will see you later. Bye-bye, my friends.